and welcome back to my playthrough of the LOTY2024 contest levels, and we move on to Dodochacalo's levels. So, first up we have Dodochacalo 1. Honey, I Shrunk the Lems. So yeah, these are levels found from Fiat Lem, which is a collaboration pack between Pieuw and Dodochacalo. Yeah, this one took me quite a while to figure out. I backrouted it when I played through Fiat Lem, and yeah, when I played through this level for LOTY2024. Oh my goodness, this one took me quite a while to figure out. And in the end, my solution is a bit different, and maybe a background, but I'm not certain. But it doesn't really look to be like a really bad background or anything. Yeah, probably just a minor one that just uses some skills in different places. Yeah, so it's just my replace here. And yeah, Fiat Lem was a pretty much looked forward to collaboration pack between Pieuw and Dodochacalo. Yeah, originally Pieuw was just going to release his levels that he made for the pack, but then luckily, yeah, with some very good timing, Dodochacalo returned, and yeah, so they resumed their work on this pack, yeah, called Fiat Lem, and they released it last year. And then I LP'd the pack, yeah, pretty much at the end of last year. I think it was the end of last year. Yeah, I think it was. Anyway, first two lemmings would become floaters, and then we would build, and then we will block with the second floater. And then, yeah, I maxed out the release rate for 2 lemmings here. Yeah, after 3 lemmings have dropped out. And then, yeah, drop it back to the default. Yeah, this one would go splat. There's no saving him. Yeah, and this is just at the right spot in order to stop them from splatting. Yeah, the reason for the max out release rate here is so we can bomb here twice in order to save the floater here. Yeah, then I'll go ahead and max out the release rate. Yeah, then I use one of the lemmings that falls from above to build to get past the blocker, while everyone else is contained. Yeah, and then of course we're going to go ahead and use 3 builders to get across the gap here. Yeah, and then bomb to release the floater. A nearby lemming, that is. Yeah, not the floater himself. Yeah, and then I go ahead and send up the floaters as climbers here. Yeah, and this is the part where I pretty much did it very, very different from Dodochacalo's intended solution. So I go ahead and dig here, a pretty pixel-precise assignment. Then I'm going to go ahead and build to turn the other floater around. We'll climb back out, and then I'm going to go ahead and use this platform up here in order to build and get back up here. Yeah, and then I'm going to go ahead and mine. Yeah, and then bash through the one-way wall to release the crowd. Okay, and then build to stop the digger once he's low enough so that he can turn around. And then there's this little tiny step here that I take advantage of so that I can bash through the one-way wall. And that's it. So, in Dodochacalo's intended solution, basically this floater that made this platform is a sacrifice. Yeah, you don't make a turnaround point here. So instead, he uses the bomber here to contain the lemmings, and then he builds to release them later on. And then, at the same time, I also need to get 1 lemming up ahead in order to bomb the blocker free. Yeah, who is a floater. And then here, yeah, mine, in order to, yeah, basically send up a climber that's not a floater. Yeah, who will mine to turn around another climber who is a floater, who will then dig and then bash the crowd free. And then, yeah, this normal lemming that falls will bomb here. And then the floater will follow by building to get back up. So 1 here, and then another builder across the digger tunnel, and then 1 final builder here in the bomber hole in order to turn around to bash through. And that's it. So yeah, judging from that, from the intended solution on Dodochacalo's YouTube channel, this doesn't look to be a really, really bad background or anything. But rather, it's just one where I use some skills differently in different places. Yeah, from the intended. So I don't know. Dodochacalo can be the judge of it. Yeah, and I'll make sure to ping him. Yeah, when I get this video uploaded. Dodochacalo 2, paved with good intentions. Yeah, definitely one of my favorites. Yeah, and one that I wanted to nominate, but someone already beat me to the punch there. Yeah, this is one of my absolute favorites from Fiat Lem by Dodochacalo. The puzzle is just so nice here. Yeah, should be blocking. Yes. Okay, send up 2 climbers here. This is just a very, very classic feeling puzzle here. And yeah, this is a safe drop. Yeah, block here. Okay, and then we're gonna go ahead and bash here in order to release the crowd. So this climber will just take a different path. Yeah, and now the crowd is safely contained here for the time being. Well, until I bash them out, which I already did. Yeah, and then you're gonna go ahead and bash here to release the climber. So the blocker gets freed, and then we'll have to make him a blocker again. Okay, and then bash on through here. Okay, build to get over the exit. Okay, bash on through the one-way wall. Okay, and then finally release the crowd with a basher, and that's it. So these 2 blockers will be our sacrifices. So a very, very nice level. Oh my goodness, this was so satisfying to figure out. So one of my all-time favorites. Very nicely done to Dodochacalo here. Dodochacalo 3, Pizza Party. Yeah, this is one of my nominations. Yeah, both for the visuals and the puzzle here. So yeah, you look around the lower pizzeria here, and then some pizza, and then yeah, looks to be like a stove here with these updrafts representing the steam and everything. Oh my goodness, the visuals here are so nice. Oh yeah, and then the pizza here looks really, really nice. But a lot of the low is not like used at all. Yeah, only a very small part of the low represents the playing area. Anyway, set up a climber, and then we're gonna go ahead and build across the gap twice. And this is very, very important. Yeah, otherwise you're not gonna get the low solved. Yeah, you need to make sure you stretch the bridge. Yeah, and this is a timing critical thing here. Yeah, this is not fatal. Yeah, plenty of leeway there. Okay, mine. So that he uses the staircase to keep on going, but then you also need to release the crowd at the right time as well. So that they all make it past the miner before he makes a hole here. Yeah, before the others will fall down here and then fall to the bottomless pit. So the reason the stretching is needed is so that we can make a hole so that the others can fall down to where the exit is. Yeah, that's very, very critical. And it is a very nuanced detail that can catch you off. Yeah, if you're not careful here. So yeah, this is pretty reminiscent of Maze 1, yeah, from Dove Lems. It uses a pretty similar idea, except for that one, it's also a pretty pixel precise miner placement, and it still can be very unforgiving, especially on Lemon Eye. But yeah, especially since there's no rewinding on that engine, yeah, it can take several tries before you get the miner placement correctly. But in Neo Lemix, it's less of a problem since you can just simply rewind until you get the placement correct. Well, and also you can frame step as well. So it's far less of an issue. Dodochacalo 4, Rooftop Run. Ooh, another really nice level here as well. The puzzle here is just so nice. Especially with the climber sacrifice needed at the very end. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and build. One lemming will slip on by, but we're going to go ahead and build here. Yes. Send up a climber. Yeah, bash on through here. Yeah, and then build. Yeah, and then we're going to go ahead and build here. So that we can get through with just one basher. Yeah, and then we're going to go ahead and build again. Yeah, this is important because, yeah, coming back, yeah, it will be a splat fall for the climber. Yeah, and then we're going to go ahead and build here so that he does not walk into the quicksand. Okay, and then build across the gap. bash through the one-way wall. Yeah, and then build to get across again. And then one more builder. Yeah, to get across again. Yeah, and now for the magic. Yeah, the climber is going to come back to where the crowd is. And then he'll be the sacrifice by bombing while falling in order to release the crowd. And that's it. The reason for that, you look over here. Yeah, this part is full of like traps for the climber. Yeah, there's absolutely no saving the climber because you're going to need plenty of builders to turn the climber around. And there's absolutely no way you can do that. Yeah, given the puzzle and everything. And this one has been backrouted several times before the solution can finally be enforced. The intended way, that is. But yeah, it's a very, very nice level. Yeah, involving a climber sacrifice that needs to come back to the crowd to release them. So really, really nice. Definitely one of my favorites as well. So once again, a nice job to Dodochacalo. Dodochacalo 5, Save Our Souls. Oh, this one had me stuck for a really long time. Definitely one of the hardest levels of the pack, of the Fiat Lem pack. Yeah, there's some tricky timing involved and also parts of the solution that are very difficult to figure out. Anyway, I start with the left entrance here, by sending up a climber, and then yeah, I also send out a climber here as well from the top entrance. Okay, be able to get over the exit, and then yeah, also send up another climber from the right entrance. Collect 2 builder pickups. Yeah, dig to get down here. So build twice at the bottom, and then once at the top here. And then we're gonna go ahead and dig here, and then just get a floater. Yeah, some pretty tricky timing here, where the floater needs to land on top of the staircase so that he can walk over here to bash this entrance free. If he is allowed to fall to the bottom, then he'll just exit. Yeah, and then some very, very tricky timing here. You need to make sure that the basher and the digger meet at pretty much at the right time. Yeah, so that the basher does not continue and then goes out here and drowns in the water. So this can also be pretty difficult to achieve. Yeah. Because the basher needs to stop so that he climbs up the digger pit in order to bash the right entrance free. Yeah. Almost a spot fall, but yeah, it's not a fatal one. So yeah, that's it. Yeah, now the climber is just from bashing through this one-way wall. So yeah, a very nice level. Yeah, with a very nice solution. Just a very, very difficult one to figure out. So it might be a little too difficult for the rank that it's in. Yeah, which is from the Scandal rank, but yeah, maybe it's perfectly placed. Yeah, I'm not certain though. And then finally, Dodochacalo 6, the Lemming Survey Corps. Oh, pretty interesting that someone nominated this one. Yeah, this one, ooh, this was all on me because I inflicted a lot of pixel precision here. Yeah, the solution is actually a lot cleaner than that. And if you want the clean solution, yeah, you can always watch Dodochacalo's video on his channel. Yeah, so I'll go ahead and mine here. Was it the first one here? Yeah, the first time it turns back to the left. So yeah, for just a bomber and miner only level, this one is a very, very difficult level. So there's a very, very good reason why this is in the Imperial rank, the final rank of Fiat Lem. Yeah, and then at some point I go ahead and use the miner to the right. And then another one to the left. So yeah, I really, really overcomplicated the solution here. Yeah, and then another miner to the left. So yeah, it's pretty clear what you need to do here. It's just how to achieve it is very, very difficult. But again, there's a really clean way to do this while all this fiddling that I did here. Yeah, and then a mine to the left here. Yeah, bomb here. So that others can go on through and then get to this button here. So yeah, one miner goes out to the right here to do the exact same thing. Yep, and then another miner to the right. Yeah, bomb here. And then another miner. Yeah, so again, just one miner each time. Yeah, because another bomb in there. And then we'll use another one there. Yeah, and then one more miner. Yeah, and that's the last one. So yeah, it was all about finding that one placement of the miner so that you only get one lemming going out in each direction in order to bomb through the one-way wall. So yeah, to find those placements exactly took me many tries. And yeah, gonna go ahead and bomb here. Sorry. Doesn't really matter which how many lemmings go out in each direction here, since yeah, they eventually make their way to the exit, but you gotta make sure that you get to all the buttons though. Yeah, and also make sure you get those workers to where they need to go in order to bomb through the one-way walls. Yeah, and then one final button here. Yep, unlocks both exits, and we are good. So I have 12 of them going out this way, and then the remaining 20 go out over here. So yeah, as a result of me thinking the solution is very fitting and everything, and how it's very pixel precise, I inflicted a lot of it. I wasn't too much of a fan of this one, but apparently someone really liked this one. So, but hey, yeah, can't please everyone, you know. But we do the best we can. Alrighty, so with that, we move on to Giga Lem's levels, which I will cover in the next time. So with this, hope you enjoyed my playthrough of the LOTY2024 contest levels, and I'll see you all next time.